will do the whole... Nope, that's... Okay, go... Wrong Discord. Let me go down here.
So Sumali Montano is the Jedi.
Wait, which Jedi? Oh, that one. Okay. Because I tried to look up the voice actor early in the week for Sahar and couldn't find it.
Mm.
Yeah,
that one I don't know.
We were looking for someone anyway.
She doesn't speak, does she? In the
No, I think it wasn't Sahar. I was looking for something else.
Because I have the credits recorded, so I could look it up. But since she doesn't speak, she might not be in the game credits.
Yeah.
That played at the.
Yeah.
All right, let me check Twitch. How to podcast? No.
How to podcast.
That's not how to podcast. Okay, yes, let me see. That is McCullough, that is Max, that is me, that is Seema. Okay, good. We have labeled ourselves correctly as far as names are concerned. That's about all we get. All right. So chat room, let us know when you can see and hear us if you were here. Normally we'd rely on Seema, but...
What?
All
right. Okay.
I hear. Oh, I mean, I hear anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Okay. So
Oh, and I do see also.
that's
Excellent.
Now I'm going to switch over to Twitch.
Yeah, that would be a good idea to make
Yeah,
sure that
it
is what you're hearing.
showed that it's running, but I always like outside confirmation that I'm not in a
Bubble.
echo chamber.
Yeah.
I always
Yes.
have a second machine running to double check that myself. Because I agree.
And he asked the chat room.
And I ask the chat.
Exactly.
Good,
All
always
right.
a good idea.
There's
And
Lucy,
I drive.
and Lucy says,
to one town over and watch it on my neighbor.
Oh, there we go.
There we
so
go.
you're podcasting while driving?
That's of course. You ever see anybody do that? Do they like live stream while they're driving? I've done conference calls that way, I guess.
I certainly have played D&D while driving. I'm going to pick up Ryan. Like, okay, guys, you roll for me. I will stay on comms to do anything you need me to do in character.
all right, hang on. I'm just double checking with Lucy. Okay, I
Oh,
can
good.
hear you and
Okay.
Seema, and there's Max and McCullough. Okay, sweet.
Thank you so much. We appreciate
All
it.
right, then
See?
we are going live in 5, 4, 3. On this episode of the AIE Podcast.
AIE raids Lost Arks.
The Free Company Workshop is open for business.
More fleet milestones.
Stand by for an assault on the Guild Wars 2 Guild Hall.
And we have Max and Seema here to talk to us about Legacy of the Sith.
All that and more, coming up right now. Nope, I screwed up the audio. Hang on. The one thing I did not check. Give me just a second. There we go. Here you go, chat room.
And did you say all that and more and more?
He did.
Bringing you
Read
the
the notes.
latest news
A lot.
from the AIE
My God,
gaming
going
community from planet Earth and beyond. This is the AIE Podcast.
There we go. Welcome to episode 381 of the podcast celebrating you, the Alia Iacta Est gaming community. The Die Has Been podcast. This is Tetsemi, and to my left and upstairs is McCullough.
Hey guys, there's some dark chocolate brownies with a pretzel crust in the guild kitchen. Please eat them before I do.
Absolutely. We are here in the Mulus formation this evening, but we do have two special guests, Seema and Max, who are here to talk to us about AIE in SOTOR. Welcome.
Hey guys,
Hello
thanks
there.
for having us. Yeah.
Absolutely.
We're a sorry substitution for Mewcow though.
Yeah.
No.
No, honestly, you guys on the show is kind of easy mode for us because you guys just
You
carry
know
it
we're
away.
gonna talk. You know we're just
Exactly,
gonna talk.
exactly.
I'm just worried Seema's just gonna go, yeah, we just talked about all this, just go listen to the podcast.
Here you go. And then just hit record. Just hit play.
on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We'll be back in an hour and a half.
Yeah. It's like a podcast
Inception. Yeah. So, other than podcasting, Seema, what have you been up to in or out of game?
We've been having some wintry weather here in Maine, and then this week it turned into like in the 40s and rain.
Oh.
So
No bueno.
my sister and I decided we're going to go tomorrow. There's a bakery in a couple towns over that has ancient grains. So we're going to go buy some ancient grain, and she's going to bake some bread. So I'm looking
Nice.
forward to that.
That's going to be a
And then-
fun project.
Yeah. Yes, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that's so shopping, weathering, nesting, playing SWTOR. Wow, classic that is.
Yeah, you've been in that
waiting
a lot.
for spring. Yes, I have. Although the last couple of weeks have been way more SWTOR for obvious reasons. But yes, so we're all really kind of looking forward to spring, and this warm weather messes us up, right? Because we think, it happens every year, and it's never the beginning of spring.
No.
But you still think it is.
It's false spring.
It's false.
It's a lie.
It is. It's false spring.
It's spring. It's full of lies.
And they were all deceived.
Right. So anyway, yeah, that's me. Max's turn.
All right. Max, what have you been up to?
Bunch of stuff, right? A lot of Star Wars: The Old Republic, because that's what we've been doing. To a bunch of preparation, and now with the launch this week, been in there a ton. I have been, and I'm sure we'll talk about a little bit, a bunch of the other things that AIE is doing as well. Lost Ark. I played plenty of Lost Ark. I've been continuing to check out New World. So New World, we've got our group there. New World's having fun. Check in on that every once in a while. And then I've been playing around with a lot of VR lately. So I've been doing that too on the
great.
side. So I got to start up an AIE VR division of some kind. I even made a intro. I made a trailer review video for a new MMO, a VR only MMO that came out 2 weeks ago. So that was kind of fun.
Cool.
Check
Yeah,
out
that was
play.
really fun to watch. I recommend.
Horizon Zenith.
Yes.
Zenith the Last City. There's too many
Right.
Horizons. Zenith the
Right.
Last City is the name of that game. That's fun.
Yes. No, not Horizon Zero Dawn or Horizon Forbidden West, but Zenith Forbidden Dawn. No, what?
Wait, huh?
Oh, very cool. And Max, where are you going to put that up, or are you still working on that?
It's on New Overlords. It's on YouTube / New Overlords.
Okay.
So you can
Cool.
see that one if you want to. It's a little 10-minute. I mostly did it as an experiment to see what it would be like to put one of those together. I don't know if I'll ever do any more or do it again, but it was an experiment to both learn the video editing tools, learn how to record game footage inside of VR, learn how to do like flying titles and sound effects and a voiceover. And so it's a little project experiment learning experience for me. I like to kind of do those things on the side. from
If
time
you
to
watch
time.
it, it gives you a really good idea of what it's like to be inside that game and get a sense of it. So yeah.
Very cool.
It was a blast to do. It was kind of fun.
Right. Very cool. And McCullough, having just gotten out of a Star Wars RPG, how have your dice treated you?
My dice have been fantastic. I can't say the same for some of my cohorts, but my dice have been great. I'm still trying to figure out how 40 degrees is spring, but that's just a desert rat thing. Sorry, Seema. That does not compute.
Please, you've been hiking in sub 40 a couple of
I know, but I
past
don't
weeks.
exist until it's 50 degrees outside. So
Oh.
I'm hiking as well dead most of the time. Let's see. So we went back to our main campaign Wednesday with the Call of Cthulhu. So we are now currently in September. It's September 8th, 1939, Italy. It's fine. It's perfectly fine. It's delightful. Love Italy and the fascists. Except for the really great point where our keeper, like, hey, can we get a map of these different sites that we're supposed to be kind of looking for this stuff at? And he brought up the map, and then someone says, hey, did you mean to put up the map that says dig site right there?
Whoops.
Oh. I mean, we're not going to min-max.
Spoilers.
We're not going to play. We're not going to, we'll only use character knowledge, but we will eventually get to where that dig site is.
Yeah.
And then literally an hour ago, I logged out. We have, well, in our Star Wars game, we've upset more people. We had done a job last week for the Shadow Collective because we were trying to infiltrate them because they had been stealing medical supplies from the New Republic. And we did this on our free time. Like, literally, we took a vacation. We worked for the New Republic. We took a vacation. Like, they need medical supplies. We take up a lot of medical supplies. Why don't we try to steal some of those? So we did our first job for the Shadow Collective. Went really well. And then we had a meeting with the head of them, and she's like, so when are you going to tell us that you're with Epsilon of New Republic?
Whoops.
You can either work for them or work for us. You need to be out of here by sunrise. And the reason they gave us time is we happened to discover it while on our ship, and we tried to deactivate it, that there was a kill switch on our ship. And then, of course, we found out that it was installed by the New Republic back when we were just contracting for them to keep a track of everything we were doing. And our commander tried to get approval for it to get removed. It could not be removed. And I know that he was being truthful because I can read his mind. So that's what I've been doing with dice. And last night we had Rabbit and Saint and our friend Tracy over, and we actually rolled dice in real life and played a variety of board games. Actually, no, there weren't any dice, were there?
No.
No.
This was all cards.
All cards. So we played Neanderthal, or Poetry for Neanderthals, which is a great game. You have to have your team guess a word, but you can only use one-syllable words.
Yeah.
And a person on the other team is sitting next to you, and they have a blow-up bat, and they will hit you if you say a two-syllable word.
And you forget that two-syllable words can be very short. So you just think I'll just use short words, and then it's like,
amazing.
Oops. Yeah.
I really like that game. I really enjoyed it, smacking people with a bat. Our team won. Then we also played a game called Ransom Note, which basically you have a little metal card and you have magnetic words and you have a prompt and you have to write, give your best response to that prompt. Like one of them was write an advertisement for Coke, and by Coke we mean cocaine.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a good time, and then we played Sushi Go. So yeah, real life games and virtual games, and a lot of baking and cooking right now.
A lot. Yep.
Sweet.
What about you, Tet?
I have been mainly up to SOTOR, and I managed to get 4 of my characters through the level 80, to level 80, and through the story, 2 on each side. I don't know why, but I did 2 Force users on the Imperial side and a tech user and a Force user on the Republic side. And then realized I ran into one of the issues we'll talk about shortly coming up. Not a huge issue, but there's a currency cap, and it was just kind of frustrating to hit that currency cap. But I'm really enjoying the story. I think they're going to take it some very interesting places. No, don't worry, no story spoilers. We won't do any story spoilers at all. I think the places we visited were interesting. I want to see a lot more of the last place we visited because I want to explore that. And I thought that the weather on Max, you mentioned you like the weather on Manon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Dramatic.
Yeah, exactly. And it was fun. So I've seen the story from both sides, and I will not spoil anything, but thankfully this is a linear story. So when you do it as the Empire and then do it as the Republic, it makes sense in one timeline. It's not, oh, they got here first, oh, they got here first, that we ran into in the Flashpoint or the...
It's not an alternate universe, right?
Yeah, it was the one where you had to go into the
Enclave.
Dantooine. I couldn't think of the
Dantooine,
planet.
yeah.
Yeah, and it didn't matter which faction you played, the other one showed up first. But this one,
good.
they're actually back to linear. So,
Oh, good. That
thumbs
makes
up.
sense.
Yep. But we will be diving into Mosotor, no story spoilers shortly. So, actually, I was going to play this week's news, but no, we're going to save the news for the end because we want to get into we want to get into this. So, Max and Seema, where do you want to start with the expansion?
Well,
Overall impressions?
why don't we do that, and then why don't we focus on the patch notes, and we could just tick off the boxes, the things that came in, and address the overall community consensus, which was and what we think about that, which was, oh, hey, there just doesn't seem to be that much here, and we've talked about it on and off. We've talked about it behind the scenes.
Right.
This is really chapter 1. It's the start. So we'll explain that too for people that aren't familiar or thinking this is all we get for all of 7.x. But yeah, Seema, as I always do, put you on the spot.
Right under the bus. Right under the
Seema.
bus.
Wow. Well,
What do
first I want to say I'm really impressed with Tets for getting 4 classes going, because I've been sort of had my brain full just getting my Merc through everything and messing with all the new stuff.
Yeah.
And I still haven't chosen a second combat style. Well, we'll talk about combat styles, but yeah. So
I agree. And this is Tet saying, 4 characters, 5 characters, through all of the content, leveled up to 80, set up all my classes, played them through. I'm playing really casual.
Yeah.
Me as a casual player is how he prefaced that.
So, okay.
No. That is.
Yes.
I bet you have more characters to 80 than anyone else in the guild. It's not.
No,
I'm sorry. It's not
sure
casual.
I'm sure Zen has 50.
Oh, gosh.
No, but so and I really, because this gets into the overall community reaction, but I don't think I put a whole lot of time into the game to get those characters to 80. If this were one of the previous expansions, because even getting from 70 to 75 in the in the 6.0 story didn't take that long. So I think getting a character to 80 isn't that hard, especially when you turn in one mission and get 2 levels. So the fact that I got 4 to 80. Now, are they optimized and ready to go hop in a raid? No, they've got one spec that I basically cleared my hotbars off because I don't know where what anything was, and then I went to the talent tree and picked my talents, and then took the abilities tab and went, oh, this goes here, this goes here, this goes here. It took about 15 minutes to 30 minutes per character to play the game the way I play the game, not to go look up guides and go, what do I got to pick? What gear do I have to get?
You space barred the whole thing, didn't you?
No, I did not.
No,
I watched all those cutscenes because I enjoy their cutscenes. I want more.
Yeah.
So, but no. So realistically, getting 4 characters to 80, I don't think is playing.
It's not crazy. It's not. Yeah. No, you're not. I'm not saying that you're.
a couple of thoughts there. First of all, there aren't guides really yet.
Yet.
And when I did a lot of the stuff that you talk about doing on your 4 characters on my 1 character.
Right.
And it didn't take me 15 minutes or half an hour to set my abilities. It took me, because I was looking at them and I was worried about messing them up. And I did finally, well, not finally, but the next day, then I played with Loadouts, which I really love Loadouts.
Oh, yeah, agree.
And so what Loadouts are is a way for you to set your spec and your gear that you want to wear with that spec, and maybe any outfits you have that want to go with that spec.
Mhm.
And then they're all stored together. You just activate it, and it changes your spec and your gear and everything else.
So nothing
So-
you have to do it manually. It's just
Yes.
here's what I'm doing today, and here's what I'm wearing today because it's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And this is a major reason why on my mercenary, who's my healer, I've been reluctant in the past to switch to DPS spec because you had to move each ability onto the buttons, and
Right.
I play so much by muscle memory rather than like knowing the names of the abilities or
Mhm.
all that stuff that I was always afraid I'd forget my main
Yeah.
ability or whatever.
Right.
So this I can really, kind of branch out. And I haven't selected a combat style because it's a second combat style. Okay, so what a second combat style is like getting a different, in the old terminology, advanced class.
Mhm.
Right.
And once you make that decision, it's permanent. So of course I'm paralyzed.
Yeah.
Right.
No, 100%. But I think
does make perfect sense.
Seema, I think that the difference is you're a raider in SOTOR, so you don't want to mess this up because you know it might affect rating and things like that. I'm approaching it much more casually, as in if I screw something up, I don't have 8 other people or 7 other people relying on me to keep them alive. I'm just playing through a flashpoint or doing story quests. So I think that's what I mean when I'm approaching it much more casually.
Yeah. But I did enjoy, I will say I did enjoy the story, but since I was playing through in my healing spec because I hadn't done my playing around with loadouts yet, there were a lot of big pulls for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I play in my healing spec, I have my companion on DPS usually. And that is fine because my companion usually is influence 50, and when I was playing through the story and I had a companion that was influence 25,
Yep.
I found that I was keeping I was keeping the companion alive more than I was doing anything else. So it was a little bit tedious with those big pulls for me.
Yeah.
That changed around at a certain point in the story when something happens and a thing happens that we're not talking about.
Yeah.
Right.
Which made a huge difference. But I'm looking forward to going through on a different character now, but using the way everybody else plays, which is a DPS spec, and they just put their companion on healer and then just forget about them.
Yes.
Right.
100% me.
Easy mode.
Yeah.
Mode.
No. And yeah.
And then the last few days, I've been running around on my Merc in a DPS spec, doing all kinds of stuff to get my activity points for the implant upgrade, doing stuff to get Galactic Seasons done, Conquest, and so it's been fun because it's completely different mindset. It's not all that different of a play style because it's kind of some of the same abilities, but it's more like running in and just letting the chips fall where they may.
Yes.
It's a little more relaxing and playing for fun instead of being more stressed.
Well, yeah, not that it was super stressful before, but it's just you paying attention to different things.
Yeah.
So, so today I did try my second character, which was a shadow, and I think that's going to maybe be the first thing that I choose a combat style for, because that's one of my characters that is not one of my mains, and so if I mess it up, it'll be unfortunate, but
Right. I did take my shadow through, and while I understand why they have forced engagement, that you don't want somebody stealthing through the entire instance, there's certain points where you're like, oh, come on. Like, really? That saw me? It's like I skipped like 5 of those, but this one saw me? Okay, fine.
It's like that scene in Good Place.
Yeah.
Jason figured it out.
Oh, that's a new low. Yeah. So, what about you, Max? What have you done with combat styles and loadouts?
I had a lot of fun with the combat styles, more than I expected. So one of the things that I did, I put two of my mains to 80 and played them through the story completely. And then I recorded it all because we wanted to make sure we had the footage and things
Of
like
course.
that.
Yep.
I did it on my mercenary, which is this character right here behind me, and then I did it on my vanguard. For my mercenary, I did not pick a combat style. Same thing. I don't know. I know what I'm going to do there, but I just didn't want to go through and set it up. And what I'm going to do is very targeted, as you said, Tetsumi, on what we're going to do with rating and what we do with the guild, mandatory fun nights, and things like that.
Yep.
My two characters then on the Republic side is a DPS. It's the mercenary, so it's range DPS, and on the that's on the Imperial side. On the Republic side, it's a Vanguard who's usually a tank. So it's usually tank spec.
Right.
It's a melee tank kind of thing. And what I'm going to do is cross them over so they'll both sort of be the same thing. It'll be a mercenary Vanguard on the Imperial side and a Vanguard mercenary on the Republic side.
Yep.
And they'll share their gear, and they'll both be able to do the exact same thing, mirror their bars, share their gear back and forth. So in either place, I can be ranged or I can be a tank, and I can switch back and forth and be very comfortable.
Which will be nice.
See, I don't
for
really
them.
have that option because my trooper, who's the shadow of my mercenary,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to make her second combat style probably be mercenary, because then she can have death from above, and she won't have the giant green healing beam that I don't like, right? So, but now on my mercenary, I'm not going to go with my second combat style of trooper because, like I say, I don't like the effects as much.
Right.
So my two mains, my pub main and my imp main, are going to have different combat styles.
But you'll still, I mean, you got what you needed in your favorite playstyles, which would be range DPS and heals already.
Yes.
As two disciplines
that's right.
within an advanced class.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
Which is nice. So you could just pick your other
Yeah.
one if you wanted to play tank. Then you could have heals and DPS on one combat style and a tank on the other combat style.
And technically, on my merc, I could never pick a second combat style, and be fine.
Right.
Which is what we were saying early on when combat style first came up. Is I have lots of alts, so I don't need it. But
Yeah.
But it's nice because like mandatory fun night or something like you show up and say, oh, can anyone heal? Instead of having to go get another character, if you've got an off-spec heal for that character, you just switch combat
you're
styles
up,
and go,
yeah.
yeah, I can heal, you know?
right.
It's
And my
casual.
merc it's the one that I'm working on achievements with, and it's the one that I'm acquiring things with. So
Exactly.
And the real magic comes when you say it's, rather than, what it used to be, which was, oh, hey, let me change my bars around. Let me
Right.
change respec in the field. There's a new tab here, which was one of the features that they gave us called Loadouts.
right.
So now for Loadouts, I can click one button and I can change both my advanced class, my combat style. So I could change from a trooper to a vanguard with that one button, and all of my abilities that I've selected, and I could have different ones
And
with
your
different
gear.
abilities, and all of my gear, and all of my bars,
Yep.
where all the abilities are on my bars, all with one button.
Yep.
So here, I don't have my tank one here. I do have it on my tank. Here
Right.
I have one called Get Naked, so that I can click this button and it takes off all my gear so that it's all in my bag, so I can put it in the bank easier.
Right.
That was a little pro tip that I invented.
jump off
That's great.
or die. All those situations where they go, take off your gear and then die.
Or because
Right.
he wants to ship it to the other faction.
Right.
Right. That's
Yeah.
mostly what you use it for in Star Wars.
Yeah.
So
Oh, I thought
I
it was
got more
dying.
use. I got more use out of loadouts than I had expected. I didn't expect to necessarily need it again because
Great feature.
Seema and I we have 30, 40 characters each,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I am really going to end up making quite a bit of use out of it. I think
yeah.
it's going to be really nice as a nice option.
Yeah.
So that was a
good
key
feature.
feature. So going down this list. So we got the story. We won't spoil the story, but the story includes stuff on a planet, sort of like the mission that you play through, some cool characters on both sides. The story, as you said, Tets, is different and connected and it's
Yes.
there's things going on the planet. Actually, the Republic side happens slightly before the Imperial side, but they're not.
Correct.
It's one cohesive
Yes.
narrative, which is
The,
really
the
nice.
Republic, the Imperial side reacts to what the Republic does.
Right.
Yes.
And then there's a second part of the story where you continue to chase down Malgus, and this was in some of the lead ups. He found some more of these relics. He's chasing stuff. You can see him behind me there. This is the meme I made. You can,
I like
you can
that he's just
achieve
leaning
anything
in
if
the
you're willing to
doorway.
burn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will be yours if you are willing to burn.
Yep.
So we try to find out what Malgus is doing, and it turns out we find a place where he has ended up, and you play through that as a flashpoint. So that's the key story part of the content.
Yep.
So that's Manon and Elam that they say up here. But then there's all this stuff, which is more than I expected.
Right.
I think when people look at this or people play through it, they've got the things that they typically do, and it might only hit on one or two of the bullets, and any one or two of the bullets isn't all that much. And this is just chapter 1, and they did say that this is going to be a year-long
Right.
release of 10th anniversary stuff. But if you look at it in bulk, and Seema and I tried to do this on the podcast on Thursday, we talked for an hour on all of this stuff and realized, wow, we haven't even gotten to what we've been doing lately. It is a lot of things.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, there are a lot of system UI user experience changes in the game to improve the player experience, and I think for the most part they were very successful on the ideas that they wanted to, like the combat styles, like the loadouts. And you guys got into it. I think the weekly Seema, I know you mentioned that the weekly like flashpoints and heroic areas and stuff like that being limited to that for the activity points. I think you guys decided that that's only going to be for a short period of time until you get through that, and then
Yeah.
after that it's just currency that you're after.
So activity points. And Seema, did you get your first legendary?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right.
So
And
Seema,
I can get my my second one either tomorrow or Tuesday.
Nice.
so that little bit on activity points and doing stuff for activity points is a really small piece. And once anyone sort of checks that off the list, you won't. It's not a new system.
Mhm.
It's just one mission. People are you don't need to worry about really what you have to do or can do or why don't they let me do this. You're going to get it done in a couple weeks at the most, and then it'll be over. Well, what that was for is they took all of the set bonuses off of the gear. So all of the gear now is sort of mix and matchable. You can get it from a whole bunch of different sources, and there's upgrade trees within each of those sources. In order to make that work, they had to take the set bonuses off of them because you're not just going to get one set anymore. Now it's sets don't really matter.
Right.
And they put those set bonuses on these legendary implants, and then there's a vendor that you had to unlock. So what did you do to unlock the vendor, Seema? What were your 100 activity points focused on?
First was Conquest.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know if that was first or not, but Conquest did
Third
it.
of it.
Yeah. And then I did the Black Hole Weekly 3 times, and then I did
That's
weekly
nerdy.
heroics on Drummond Koss, and
Yep.
something else. I think I did Terrace. Yeah, weekly heroics on Terrace.
And I did a little. So you get 34 points out of 100 for completing personal conquest. You have to be level 80 for that to check off. And then I did
Yeah.
some PvP and some planetary weeklies, and got done really quick. And now the vendor's unlocked, so I'm not too worried about those activity points.
Right.
Yeah.
And see,
All-
go ahead, Seema. Sorry.
I was gonna say, doing those activities, I got all the currency I need for multiple implants, and I have enough tech fragments banked too. I just need a few more medals of commendation, which I will get. Doing Conquest. So
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Doing
Right.
your normal stuff.
Right.
See, the first character, apparently I didn't listen to Seema and Max, because the first character I took through, I interacted with Galactic Seasons and claimed the first week. And when you give the companion the gift, it gets you like 15,000 or 16,000 conquest points.
Right.
And so my first character through hit 80 and conquest at the same time.
Okay.
So they didn't get the 34 points. But
Yeah.
it's like, okay, so that's fine. That goes
minor.
on. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Like,
We'll just get it on Tuesday. Yeah.
right. And then the other three characters, I took through, didn't have a problem. They hit 80 and then immediately went to the fleet, came back, finished it up, got the 34 points. Then it's not an issue.
Yeah. I mean, tech versus force is different. You can get any of the implants off of that vendor, I think.
Yeah. No, you can buy them on any of your.
So you only need to unlock it on one character.
Right.
You don't need to unlock it on the character that you missed it on ever. But you probably will, but you don't need to. You don't need to worry about that.
By the way, the companion that you get for Galactic Seasons, there's a hidden achievement if you use a compendium to get his influence to 50. So that's what I did.
Oh, really?
Actually, I don't know if it's a hidden achievement, but it is an achievement.
His name is Chad, by the way. It's Chad Bane, because he is
Chad Bane.
Because he is a Duros.
He's a Duros. Yeah. So we call him Chad Bane.
That's fabulous.
Yeah. So you used
he's a great
Seema,
grandfather of Cad Bane.
Yes.
You took him right to 50. With a compendium, not waiting for the catch-up stuff in the Galactic Seasons.
Right, and so now I'll just use those as I get them. I'll collect them somewhere, and then if I ever get that companion again on another character, I'll use those at that point.
Interesting. Had not thought of doing that.
So tons of stuff. And one thing we skipped over, which I had playing here in the background a little bit, was the big surprise. And I think in BioWare's mind, and really for all of us, even though it's not part of the game and content we can play, this is actually a really big deal, which was the trailer.
Oh, no, it was huge.
The trailer's amazing.
Yeah.
So the trailer came out on the same day. I'm really surprised. They've been sitting on this for months because we've seen screenshots out of the trailer in previous teaser content that they've put together.
Yep.
Like that shot of Sahar's eyes. So Sahar is this Twi'lek Jedi, and so this shot of her eyes we've seen in the teaser content already. The trailer though sets up this year-long story,
right?
And just what we play through with the release that came out on Tuesday is just the opening chapter. It just scratches the surface. In fact, in the playthrough, we get a glimpse of Sahar, but we don't meet her, we don't interact with her. So that's all to come. So that's really, really exciting. We learned a little bit more. We sort of get the setup of the feel. We've got this continuing friction between people's view of Sith and Jedi. Are the Jedi actually good? From my point of view, the Jedi are evil. That kind of thing is really amped up and played up, and you get more of Malgus's perspective that both of them are flawed.
Yeah.
And I think the trailer did it. Right. And Malgus is not a good guy.
No.
But what he realized is that there are flaws in both of those systems, and he thinks that he's got a better way. Seema and I I jokingly continued to say Malgus is got really good ideas, and I'm on Team Malgus, and I'm gonna join Malgus's faction. And Seema always tries to rein me in on that because Malgus is actually pretty evil, but he's lawful evil. He's got a plan. He sticks to it. He's trying to put things in order.
Just to clarify, though, lawful evil is not less evil.
Right.
No, it's still evil.
No.
It is not the lesser of the three evils.
It's just,
right.
It's just evil with rules.
Exactly. Very much so. I've played lawful evil in the game. Yes, it's evil where you follow rules.
Yeah.
So the methods are bad, but the vision and the outcome maybe isn't so bad of what he's going for. We still can't allow him to do what he's doing. This is me talking to you, Seema. I'm not saying he's a good guy. He's a good guy.
We don't know what outcome he's looking for.
I think I do. He has told me multiple times to my face. So and Seema doesn't trust any game character.
Nor should she.
But that was before he's been through several life-changing experiences.
Yeah, he kind of has been sort of stripped down, taken apart, knocked down, got back up again.
But you're right. I do not take them at face value.
Not even when it's like the Hutt cartel.
No.
Beast of Prosperity, when there's very clearly a good one and a wicked one, and Seema still thinks both of them are evil.
Yep. I think they're both flawed.
So are the Jedi evil from your certain point of view?
So
many of the truths we cling to.
Have the Jedi made mistakes and have they done bad things? Of course.
Okay.
I mean, what we see, are we going to talk about what we saw in the trailer, or is that a spoiler?
Sure. No, I think we can talk about that. If people haven't seen the trailer, then
what
pause right now and go watch the trailer. It's only 6 minutes. 6 minutes.
Yeah, you should watch it. It's awesome. What we see there is she comes in range of a machine and she's affected by it and she has a vision. That doesn't mean it's a true vision.
Right.
And then Malgus says some things to her. It doesn't mean that what he's saying isn't a lie. So I'm just saying I don't know yet. I'm waiting for the story to unfold.
Right.
And I'm saying I know.
Right. It's clearly not a flashback though.
Max.
It's not a memory because she doesn't remember her brother in chains.
Right.
Right.
Correct.
It's something else. It's a vision.
Right.
Yeah. Only Max's deal in absolutes.
And
very much so.
And visions are notoriously open to, interpretation.
Yeah. No, 100%. But this follows on the quest line on Dantooine, which also made you think the Jedi were doing questionable things with the memory wipe and the memory modification.
Oh, really bad things.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm curious, and I guess Max, the story was short, is my big complaint because I want to know where this is going. Are they going to explore the whole Jedi? I don't want to even say gray Jedi because Heather hates that term. Sorry,
I do. In fact,
but are they operating in gray space for the greater good? Well, some could say Malgus is operating in gray space for the greater whatever he's doing. The Empire. The same thing. So, right, everyone's flawed, and I think somebody made the comparison that this is also similar to what WoW was exploring with the light and the void. And everyone was always like, well, the light's always good. And it's like, no, the light stands for order.
I am my scars.
Exactly. The light is very orderly, but that doesn't mean it's necessarily good or moral. It's just is.
Lawful,
So
lawful versus chaos.
One of the things that this argument reminds me of is, remember that episode of The Mandalorian with Bill Burr, where they're in the cantina with the Imperial guy, and he's saying all the good works that the Empire has done.
Yep.
It sounds great, but the Mandalorian kills him.
Yep.
I mean,
right?
It sounds great, but it's like
Bill Burr
do the means. Oh yeah. He does. You're right. Bill Burr does.
I wasn't a stormtrooper, jackass.
Still one of the best lines.
I mean, it's do the means justify the end.
Right.
Which they don't in a good versus evil calculus.
Right.
I think we could pretty much agree.
And I think throughout the storyline, I know there's the one point when you're going through either a planet story or maybe one of the class stories where you have a choice of saving one person or saving a whole bunch of other people. and it's the one versus many. Which way does your character go?
Right.
And so that's, those choices or those decisions are always interesting in exploring this. Oh, there is no absolute light side is, it's just light side is this side of the road. Dark side is this side of the road. And if you're trying to go down the middle, good luck. So.
Yeah.
Cool.
So lots of stuff to try out and play. We're going to be busy for quite a while. We're going to be going through all of, where's my list of anything else that we missed, Seema? Some of the UI changes, which are getting mixed reviews. I like most of it, but
Yeah.
I like half of it half as much as I would like, and I like the other half of it half as much as it deserves.
Thank you.
Yeah. Forster mentioned in the chat room they tried to buy a Sentinel implant on their assassin and wouldn't let them.
Right. So that's something we will have to keep an eye on. So maybe you do need to unlock that vendor multiple times. But remember, you can have multiple combat styles on one character.
No.
So
I don't think that means you have to unlock the vendor multiple times. It means you have to get your Sentinel up to level 80 and by its own.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what I meant. And then it will have to unlock the vendor. The Sentinel will have to unlock the vendor to buy the implant.
No, the vendor will already be unlocked.
Oh, I don't think so. No, you have to go do that quest on each of the characters.
Oh.
Because we all are now on multiple. I mean, Tets, you have 3 characters that are in multiple stages on that activity points quest, right?
Yeah.
Oh. I thought it was just the one time. Okay.
Yeah,
Whatever.
It's not a legacy unlock of the vendor.
No, I think
universe.
you do have to take. You have to take the character you want to unlock the vendor through the quest, but because you have combat styles and loadouts, you don't have to do it. You can buy whatever your 2 combat styles worth of implants are, but I don't think you can. I think the hope was I just go through it once and now I can buy the whatever implant I want and just send it to my alts. I don't think it works that way.
Yeah, I guess
I don't
not.
either. I think your alt definitely has to be level 80 and buy it themselves.
Right.
Although I'm sure you can buy it for whichever combat styles you have on that character. So
Correct.
You could potentially have 2 combat styles. And switch back and forth between those and buy those and then send them.
And you don't even have to be in that combat, or at least with the loadouts, you don't have to be in the discipline to buy.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Combat style, though, you probably do have to be in that combat style.
To buy it. Yeah. Most
Oh my
likely.
gosh.
I know.
Words.
Those are hard.
Yes. It's class, combat style, discipline. I got it. First time.
Good job.
Yep. That's it.
So.
And then build within the discipline, which is your ability tree.
Yeah.
Which you can switch out and have whatever you want over on the side.
Exactly. All right.
Galactic Season. I finished the weeklies, all the weeklies in Galactic Seasons. You guys do that yet?
Did you do it intentionally? Like, were you intentional about it, or was it just your play style?
By today, by yesterday, like by the weekend, I looked at which of the weekly objectives I had completed and which ones I hadn't, and then figured out what I needed to do to complete 7 out of the 10, which is how you complete the full set. And then I did notice that after you complete the full set, it grays out. There wouldn't have been any benefit anyway to doing more than the 7, but you can't even do more if you wanted to.
Okay.
Wouldn't or not done anything, but
fair enough.
So I got 7 done. I did have to do a couple extra things. Like finished up some crafting today, and I did GSF. I finished up the GSF matches today.
Wait,
That was fun.
there's a Galactic Seasons weekly for crafting?
Yes, 2 invasion forces and 10.
Dark projects?
Yeah.
No, just war supplies. Any war supplies across your legacy.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I definitely am going to do that one.
Yeah.
Right. And it only takes an hour to do, or less than an hour to do a invasion force these days. So you could basically get all of that done in an hour. An invasion force on 2 different characters and then 10 war supplies.
I could have been doing that while we were yakking here.
You would already be done. Would have checked it off the list. And then your 4 space missions, old school space missions, those work. And all of that. You do this stuff and you'll get you do any of it. You do one of them and you will get the Duros companion out of Galactic Seasons.
Yep.
Right.
Because that's
That I
at
got.
level 1. I'm already up to a level. My levels
Max
go
level.
to 11.
Max
They
level.
Go, my levels
Think that one goes to 11?
Goes to 11. It's one more than 10.
Very cool.
All right. Well, I know we've got a bunch of AIE news to get to. Seema,
We
did
do.
you have any other
Yes.
call outs, shout outs for content or?
Like I've babbled enough, so I'll just say if you haven't watched the new trailer, if you haven't done anything yet,
Good.
watch the new trailer. That's
Definitely.
yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah,
And-
even
and
Heather
no-
doesn't even play, and I'm like, go watch this.
Oh yeah, and then
Yeah.
today
Oh,
my
good movie.
my friend that plays my character's wife, she's like, yeah, that actually is kind of very similar to her history and what I'm kind of going for, and that's even the same color lightsaber she uses.
Nice.
It's ILM
Or
did
she
that.
will use.
Yeah.
Oh god, it's so beautiful.
So Disney jumped in to help create that. Hopefully they got an employee discount.
I hope so. Yeah.
I like how the fight is structured too, because you get like this badass move and that badass move and that badass move, and then Malgus shows up, and then it's really badass. It's like
Right,
all the
right.
other guys were like junior badass.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I like Max's comment of how it always seems that one Sith can hold off 2 Jedi
Yeah.
Right.
for a time.
Right. My favorite move is in the opening scene here against the other Sith that they start with. Boom! Sahar
I
punches
love
him in
that.
the
Yes,
face.
that
Yes.
was great.
That's hilarious.
And
Yeah, no, that was a
the
great
kick
shot.
isn't bad.
The kick's good. There's a lot of
kick's
there's a
good, but
bunch of good moves, and there's some brutal moves in here too.
Yeah.
I mean, Malgus's execution of the Jedi Master,
Yeah.
Malgus's execution of the Sith.
Yep.
Malgus is harsh
Malgus
in
is
here.
Malgus.
They just cut off the Sith's hand in a quintessential Star Wars lightsaber battle move.
What confidence he has going to this battle, because the first thing he does is kill the guy who would be fighting on his side.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. Takes out his potential ally.
But the guy looked up. But I don't know that he would have been.
Yeah,
fighting on his
you're
side.
probably right.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
think
he
all
did
three of
call
them
him a
would have been
traitor,
fighting
but
against.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he did have his lightsaber sticking out of his chest when he said that.
True.
Yeah.
True. Yeah, a little bit extra.
That does really shade your
Smoking
your,
hole out of his
opinion there.
chest cavity.
yeah,
I know
little things.
I don't know if we're going to touch on Star Wars in the news, but AIE's got a bunch of stuff going on. Our Tuesday nights are going to get pretty interesting and fun. We've got multi-tagging on world bosses now. We've got new fun things to do to go after activity points and galactic seasons. Keep an eye out for all of that for AIE and Star Wars. We had a fun time on Tuesday night, just hanging out in Discord. And our ops teams now need a couple extra people. What's up on Wednesday? Still needs a DPS. Is that right,
Yep.
Seema?
Yep. But I
So
mean,
all of that stuff too.
You're reminding me though, because I wanted to say multi-tagging is like the unsung feature of this whole thing, because since I've been out there doing planetary quests, places and quests
great.
where people had to group up or line up for,
yeah.
you don't have
You
to.
just run in and everybody just shoots the guy and you'll all
Yeah.
get credit.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Even on Manan, there's a couple places where you're not instanced. You're in the open world, but going through the story content, and you get those bonus objective, like, kill 35 of the whatever, and you could just follow someone around with, chain lightning or AoE lightning and just tag everything and help them kill it. And makes for a much better experience. I agree. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, thank you guys. I think
Thank you so much.
we are going to slip into the news.
Yes.
AIE News.
In streaming and podcast guild podcast news, SWTOR Escape Podcast 415 Live Legacy of the Sith. Yeah, guys, it's Max and Seema. You know them. You pretty much just heard them go through a lot of it today. They are willing to burn, and burning has begun. 7.0 is here, and they are digging it. Obviously, it's Max and Seema. They know what they're talking about. In Working Class Nerds, mostly they know what they're talking about. Working Class Nerds, episode 141.
Why did you have to qualify that?
Mostly. Just kidding. Marcus and Nick are joined by not only the legendary Kitty Kiss, but also Kitty Treats. What's out this episode is definitely spicier than usual, but it's a wild fun of a ride. Wild ride of fun. There we go. Words are hard. The foursomes chat about SWTOR's disappointing expansion.
Oh.
So, as we said, it's just the first chapter.
Yeah.
Delve into Kitty Treats and Kitty Kiss's dual streaming. Enjoy. Find more about Kitty Kiss at Twitch TV / Kitty Kiss, which is KISSZ. And Kitty Treats is twitch.com Kitty Treats.
Yep.
Um.
And there's more
right.
links in there.
Oh, there
for
is. Yeah. Take a look at the
YouTube
show notes.
reactions. So
Yep.
but check the show
Yep.
notes.
Yes, definitely. Fleet Action Report, episode 84, Call to Arms, TFOs. Fleet Action Report, Greebog and Nicodemus head back to TFOs. They explain any mechanics that are featured and how you can beat the TFOs while getting the most marks for reward. They start with 2 TFOs that are part of the current 12th anniversary event, then see what they can get in random queues. And in Board and Swords 190, Sports Games $350 edition of Zorro, a new edition of Libertalia.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Apparently there was a big game recently, something about sports. I don't know. We podcasted. To celebrate, they're talking about some sports related board games and video games. Oh yeah, and Magic the Gathering isn't as hot as it used to be.
Disagree, but okay. All right. AIE in Lost Ark. The hotly anticipated MMO ARPG officially launched just over a week ago in North America. Let's qualify that. It's been out for years in other regions. We just got it in North America. It's already made Steam history with over 1.3 million concurrent users in a single day, ranking second only to Public Battlegrounds. Experienced some launch challenges, as many new MMO titles do, that prevented new players from creating characters on servers that friends had been playing on during the 3-day head start. However, that lasted only a day, and new character creation restrictions were rarely in place for as long as the server pop had stabilized across the various servers and regions. More information concerning issues, relevant, compensatory gifts offered, and more has been communicated on the Guild's official website, playlostark.com. AIE's presence is in the North American East region's Regulus server, and they're currently accepting invites to AIE Fidelis. The game's guild features unlocked after you acquire your first Mount Quest reward and is accessible from the community menu in the game's interface. 4 guilds have been established in response to the initial interest in the game from the AIE gaming community in launch. Guilds initially only hold 30 members, with an increasing cap up to 100 as the guild levels. The cap has been raised to 32 in 2 guilds, which have already achieved level 2. Guild progression and participation are important components to the growth of players' characters as well as the guild. Each week, a portion of the earned contributions is donated to the guild, and a bonus reward of player currency is distributed to the players based on their weekly contributions across activities, from weekly guild tasks, daily donations, aid given to ongoing research projects, or to simply logging in each day. The plan is to continue to increase the guild cap of the guilds until such time as they can support the main characters of all playing in a single guild or 2. We'll maintain the other guilds and support their growth for any overflow interest, as well as alt characters that are important to other characters' progression, as many elements in the game are shared across an account's roster of characters on that server. Sorry, words are hard. Guild event planning is underway and will include meetups for daily and weekly activities, other ongoing systems progression into adventure tome completions, Makoko seed hunt nights, and more. Stay tuned to the public Discord channel Lost Ark for more details. If you're interested in the game and have questions, feel free to visit us in the text and voice channels in Discord, or download the free game. It is free to play, and join us on North America East Regulus to play with the 50-plus members currently in the world of Arkesia. Current members, remember to keep up those daily donations to spur guild growth and ask for an invite to region-wide custom chat channel that connects with players across all 4 guilds.
Awesome.
So, Greenwall for Lost Ark.
Yes. If you want any more of that, it's in the show notes. And in WoW news, WoW 9.2 launches Tuesday with a bunch of quality of life improvements, a new daily area, and a raid coming soon. Not. WoW
No,
Classic.
coming soon. Not TM.
Not TM. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I misread that.
No, it's
WoW
March 1st.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. All right. Well, Classic, they're looking for a few more people when Wrath comes out. They're looking for 10.
Yep.
And in ESO news, cool things that the guild has been doing. Public dungeons, hunting old world bosses, clearing zones of sky shards. If you're interested in running a dungeon for pledges on Monday nights, they have 2 dungeon groups that occasionally need someone to fill in. Check out the Undaunted Enclave channel and Discord for more information. And of course, ESO has some things coming up for the guild. Trial nights when they have 12 people online for MFNs. On the 12th, the PvP event in ESO started. Feel free to post a Discord to coordinate events and group for the events. They won't be doing as the MFN because Kinney hates PvP and, of course, faction requirements. The new DLC dungeon leading to High Isle comes out on March 14th for PC, and they'll be grouping to run them for MFNs on the weekday release.
And in Final Fantasy XIV news, Final Fantasy XIV had its latest live letter. While the last expansion was named Endwalker, it's far from the end of Final Fantasy XIV, and the adventure continues. They announced the overall plans for the 6.0 patch cycle, and some highlights include graphics update, higher resolution textures, improved lighting, shadows, and more. Will be updated over the entire patch up to 7.0. The Adventures of Hildebrand returns, a new deep dungeon, scaling difficulty 4-man dungeons codenamed Criterion, and further adjustments to the ARR main story quest, including the ability to journal into ARR story dungeons with NBC avatars known as trusts, and more. The free trial returns February 22nd, so if you're curious, hit us up in Discord and join us on the Goblin server in the Crystal Data Center. Weekly guild activities continue with mount farming on Fridays and map nights on Saturdays, and the free company workshop is open for business. The current log of airships, submarines, and FC construction projects are logged in Discord in the workshop log channel. If there's something you'd like us to create or farm up from you in the workshop, you can message an officer in Discord to get the request in. Due to the queues of players requesting things, as well as the RNG of the expeditions, it may take some time for your desired item to be delivered, but we are working on it. Some examples of things you could request are housing skins, minions, rare crafting materials, and rare orchestration roles.
Awesome. And in STO news, the fleet is currently collecting fleet marks for upgrading the starbase to Tier 5, another huge milestone for the fleet. The anniversary event is still going on, with the reward of the T6 ship. It's a really nice variety, the Darok Alliance carrier. You only have until the 24th, so middle of this week, to get your needed 20 days of activity. However, you can buy out any progress you need with Zen, which is the in-game currency. The Klingon Recruit event is also still ongoing. You can unlock special rewards and account-wide rewards through various tasks that you complete while playing. You only have to get to the communicator device that tracks the progress before March 9th. The task you can complete on your own schedule. They have started a new year-long event on the campaign, which will reward a lockbox ship, T2, T6, 100% free ship coupons, or 1,500 Lobi. The first event for this is the Borg Resurgence. They have remastered 2 space and 1 ground TFO fighting the Borg. You have until March 15th or to get 14 days worth of progress. Once completed, you can get the console that allows you to assimilate an enemy target, 3 TFO reward boxes with your choice of specialization point, or utilize tech upgrades, and 200 or 25,000 delirium. Wow.
No, dilithium.
Dilithium. My words are really hard.
We're not in the Sandman comic.
Oh, thank you.
I like delirium, actually.
I know, right?
Me too. She's lovely. I'm like, dilithium. That's not delirium. No. There's a Fleet Fun Night on Thursday at 11 p.m. Eastern, and Nicholas and Greebog host Fleet Action Report live at Twitch/Greebog every Monday at 11 p.m. Eastern. This Monday starts new player challenges for the show.
Yep. And in Guild Wars 2, the End of Dragons is coming in 8 days, or the 28th if Jedi can't math. If you need an invite into the guild, please post your name, numbers in Discord and tag an officer. For example, Jedi.5769. You can find this information when you log into the game on the character select screen in the top right-hand corner or in the contacts and LFG menu in-game. Don't forget, you can represent the guild by checking the box next to our guild name, Alia Iacta Est Zyphos, in the guild panel. 100% representation is not a guild requirement, but it is nice to see folks active in the guild. Stand by for an assault to unlock the new guild hall. Jedi will be setting this event shortly after the End of Dragons launches. MFN is at Mondays at 9:30 Eastern. Expect more stuff to happen during this slot when the expansion launches. Dungeons and more, please check the Discord for timing, and lots of stuff in the guild bank. Please use it.
All right. And finally, in Lotro news, Update 32, Rangers and Ruins is live. This means Erebor housing is available for purchase. The legendary item reward tracker is set. And the angle of... I can't pronounce words even when I know them. Mythanel? Wow.
Where is it? Oh. Myth, no. That's a Tolkien word right there. I don't know.
I know.
Mythiel.
Mythiel is open for exploration. Also, the hidden horde of Abnakara raid is due soon.
Yep. Words are hard.
Oh, wait, Max.
He's ready to burn things.
I know.
And speaking of which, that is our show for tonight. While the chat room begins suggesting show titles, we want to thank Seema and Max for joining us. Thank you guys. As always, we love having you on.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Always fun to come on and
Yeah,
talk.
we always like to come. Yeah.
We appreciate it. All right. And if you have questions or comments on our show, you can email us at podcast@aie-guild.org. You can follow us at Twitter. The podcast is AIE Podcast. Mew is the Mew Cow. I am Cyberwave, and Tet is Ivory Tiger. We record live with video every other Sunday, approximately, sometimes in 3 weeks, at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. You can join the chat room and play along with our website, and our Discord server for chat is aie-guild.org/discord. For past episodes, you can see them on our YouTube channel. Look for the AIE Podcast. Our theme was composed by the amazing Andrew Allen. Follow him with Keys of Soul or his website, andrewallenmusic.com.
And in 3 weeks, we will be talking to another AIE game, but we don't know which yet because it's 3 weeks and I have to look through spreadsheets because that's what I do. So
That's an eternity.
I know.
Yeah. Far in
Exactly.
the future.
Yep.
You've got 2 weeks and 6 days to figure it out.
Right.
It'll
Right.
totally be spring by then.
Yes. Maybe.
Or here
Fall-
summer.
Yeah. It's not wrong. So until then, AIE, this is Tetsemi,
This is Makala.
and this has been the AIE Podcast. Yay! All right. Chad
Sweet.
Payne, Evil Jedi. Lawful Evil is still evil. Max goes to 11. Those are good,
Yeah, those are
Tiber.
good ones.
Those are really great.
Maybe lawful evil and ready to burn.
Oh, there we go.
No, combine it. Get that. Where's our Malgus?
Power will be yours if you are willing to burn.
Oh, lawful evil and willing to burn.
Yeah, Lawful Evil, willing to burn.
I like it. Yes. Oh my God, that is perfect.
Yes.
As I work with a lot of people with law degrees, that is very true.
Yes. I'm willing to burn everything.
Yeah, well, they're willing to write their reports right. Anyway,
All right.
That's not a great name for an expect though. Willing to write reports, right?
no, definitely not.
AIE, your TPS reports are now due. The expansion.
Yeah, yes.
Did you get
Gonna
the
need
memo?
you to come in this weekend.
Yeah, exactly.
I
We got
can't.
some
I'm gaming.
expansions for you to play. Like
Wouldn't say
all
I'd
the
be missing
expansions.
it, Malgus.
The crossover we didn't know that we needed.
Right?
Yeah, I totally want to see those memes now.
Oh,
I know, me too.
I mean, Robot Chicken doing Vader and the Emperor is just.
What's an aluminum falcon?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, now he's crying. Oh, it's okay.
Stormtrooper?
Yeah.
Stormtrooper? Stormtrooper. 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 Stormtrooper.
Exactly. Going up the escalator. Oh, all right. Well, chat room, thank you as always.
Thank you so much.
Max, Seema, thank you guys as always.
Yes.
We really love having you
fun.
guys on. And
Thank you, and for coming at such a short notice.
yes.
Like, what are you doing next week?
Exactly.
That's what we'd love to have you.
Not a problem. Not a problem.
All right, chat room, I am cutting the stream. Thank you.